Hello, welcome to OMAT. I'm really glad you're here. I absolutely love these exercises. I don't always love to do them, but they really are so useful. So we're going to get into it in just a moment. I want to tell you a quick story about my mornings, because usually I read in the morning. Every morning I read a few pages of a book that teaches me about habits, about thought patterns, behavior patterns, generally topics like that. And I've been reading these things for years. So you would think that, they do have similar information. You'd think I have all the information at this point, but I don't think so. I don't think I could ever have all the information on one topic. There's always something to learn. Second, I read it because it starts off my morning with motivation, with useful information. And third, our brains are so malleable. So if I don't control the environment up in my mind, then the world will. It'll just give me whatever information it wants, and this grounds me. In a world where it feels like a pretty intense roller coaster, this is kind of like my seatbelt. So let's get into that safe space. We bring ourselves into the safe space by getting present, by not concerning ourselves with things that are out of our control, which is time. Right before this, something was happening. Right after this, something will happen. But we don't need to tend to that right now. So let's practice being present. Maybe that means closing your eyes. Maybe it means opening your eyes to your environment, noticing where you are, what you're actually doing, so you could be in that process. Let's get into our first exercise of gratitude. Why have gratitude be an exercise? It kind of feels like we're in kindergarten sometimes, but to me, these are very basic, useful thoughts. I have other thoughts all day. Angry thoughts, thoughts of maybe betrayal, relentless thoughts of nonsense from the past. This is me looking to have very specific thoughts, not fake thoughts. I'm noticing what there is to be grateful for, and I'm practicing that notice because it is there. Let's practice looking for anything to be grateful for right now. Let's wrap the exercise for now. Finding the water. And I truly, genuinely have gratitude for people who try to notice gratitude, because I would much rather live in a world where people are actively looking for the things that we really can be grateful that already exist. All right, let's keep going. Let's go into our meditation. What could 1 minute of meditation do? I'm not going to turn into a monk with 1 minute, but I'm going to notice that I can take a 1 minute time out. I'm going to notice that being still does something to my body and mind. I'm going to maybe focus on relaxation for a minute, or I'm going to get a break from relentless thoughts for a minute. But let's practice sitting in any comfortable position, eyes opened or closed. Breathe. As we come back, let's find the water. And if only this 1 minute, it helps me deal with my triggers. Triggers push us into high emotions, and then it feels like we need to respond. If we take 1 minute to follow our breath, we might find that we don't maybe need to be that angry or need to respond to that anger or that high emotion. And with practice, you could put that barrier, that space between you and your responses. Let's keep going. Let's write it down. Here's another tool that we could use when we're in high emotion. Really, it's too much to be able to think logically in that space. Writing things down changes the information. Let's practice writing it down. We don't have to have an epiphany. We don't have to have a completely different feeling. We are practicing writing any word right now. Let's wrap for now. Find the water. Perhaps find information on how we wrap something, how we move along, how we leave that one exercise, one thought, one moment, and go into the next thing. What's the next thing right now is a yoga stretch, any kind of stretch. We're going to start, I'm going to walk us through a sun salutation. If you want to do just some of the poses from the sun salutation, that's fine. If you want to do all of it, make up your own. Let's stretch. Let's start. If you could stand and inhale your arms up. If you are sitting and inhaling your arms up, you still are stretching. Look up, reach up, and there still is a difference, arms by your side and arms up. So let's try it. And fold forward. Now we're hanging over our feet. Our back is nice and rounded. Knees are as bent as we want them to be. In fact, they could be so bent that your belly could be sitting on your lap. That's fine. That's great. And inhale, halfway lift, flat back, look up. Let's get into the high plank. Put your hands down, plant them down, step your feet back, and then lower your body from there all the way down to the ground. Once the front of your body is on the ground, push against the floor and your chest comes up, head comes up, look up. Let's meet in down dog. Hips up into an upside down V. And start walking forward towards your hands before you roll up, meeting your palms above your head and exhaling them down to the center of the chest. Let's find our water. Let's find that we warmed up our body a little bit. Maybe that felt good. We're going to take that warmth into our next exercise of plank. If you are able to get into any kind of plank pose, let's get into that mindset. If not, do any kind of strength training. You might, if you can, just put your arms up, lift any of the things, any of your body parts that your body allows you. If you can do a plank, let's get into plank pose in 3, 2, 1, in that plank pose right now. Because you could be sitting there thinking to yourself, I should plank, I should get up. And 10 seconds in, stop shooting all over yourself and get into that position. Get into a strength position where you are using your muscles. That's 20 seconds. I know it's getting pretty challenging, especially if you started right away. If you did not start right away, start now. It's always a good time to start right now. 30 seconds in. And if you needed to and you came down off your plank for today, even if you don't usually, that's fine. Take a deep breath, come back and join for 20 more seconds. Make sure you're breathing. as this is getting more challenging, find it in you, in your mind, to be able to stay up if you're not hurting yourself. We're less than 10 seconds in. We're at the countdown, 5 seconds left, and 3, 2, 1, you're done. That's what your plank looked like for today. Come on down, maybe stretch your way back, find your water, and find a way to maybe in your mind reward yourself. For me, I like to take that into a physical pose of, I did it. Anything that I was resisting doing and I did anyway, and it was useful, I like to acknowledge so that the next time I come up on it and don't want to do it, I remember it felt good afterwards. I resisted and I did it and I was proud of myself. Let's keep going, taking that energy into breaking procrastination, into this is creating a habit of getting things started, doing a small task. Let's practice it by doing any small task, throwing out one piece of paper right now. Let's wrap the task for now. Finding the water, helping us transition. And if you found that you froze in this exercise, you couldn't find a task, it was a little more challenging than you anticipated, that's where you are with this for now. That's why we practice. Let's keep going. Maybe let someone know, hey, I'm having trouble getting started on this particular task, knowing where to start. How did you do it when you did it? Or just say hi, a nice simple, I'm thinking about you. Let's warm up that connection muscle by looking to connect right now. Let's wrap for now. Find the water. If that was a comfortable exercise, great. If it was uncomfortable, that's what it feels like for now. You tried. Let's keep going. Let's shake it off, dance it off, move around. That changes our mind, changing our physical self, and we're practicing and we're exercising so that we can keep using these muscles. Let's move in 3, 2, 1. Start your exercise. Really any exercise, because even if you make a small movement, that start could get that momentum going. That's 10 seconds in. And that's how we get any momentum going throughout the day. We do a small start and it starts to snowball. That's 20 seconds. Now, this might already be a little bit challenging as time passes, as we get to that center, that 30 seconds in. What are you doing to keep yourself going? Practice continuing. How do you do that? Practice generating energy. Practice for 20 seconds generating the kind of thoughts that you tell yourself while you're moving around that are useful and helpful. Let's do that for 10 more seconds. We're going to finish as strong as our body and mind will allow for now. For today, this is what this looks like. For 3, 2, 1, and you're done. All right, those are habits that I think are so useful, and we're trying them on, seeing how they feel, and I appreciate it. Thank you for taking OMAT today.